So, short video today, but I just want to talk about a couple books I was pretty excited to buy because they were really influential for when I was doing my master's of public health and really starting to think about indigenous academia and history and how it incorporates into a lot of my research into blood quantum, tribal enrollment, indigenous identity, and those impacts on healthcare, mental health, and access. So, not recommending them, but not recommending them either. I think they're both pretty good. Blood Will Tell: Native American and Assimilation Policy by Catherine Ellinghaus. Really nice, concise history of a few different policies, how the United States and state governments, such as Virginia, intervened in determining who is, and more specifically, who is not indigenous, who could and could not be classified as indigenous, how we could, disenfranchise people, diminish, land achievements, as well as, tribal enrollment practices for entire tribal nations. There's a lot of really, really great stuff in here, especially the stuff about Virginia. One of the great things, one of the most interesting questions that a lot of people might have is, why are there so many less indigenous populations recognized in the East compared to the West in the United States? And I would say you just have to look at state political law and everything like that. This tells you why there were no federally recognized tribes in Virginia for so long, and now there's 9. So highly recommend this book for some history knowledge. It's a good introductory course. It's not at the level of introductory, but it's a good course. And this one was just really impactful to me. It's called Disciplined Hearts. It's by an anthropologist, a non-native anthropologist, Teresa O'Neill. It was done. I had, nothing but good things I've heard about it. I had a professor at the University of Arizona who's from the Salish and Kootenai tribes. He talked very well about this specific anthropologist and the work done in here and how they, did a very, job. There's even, here about, people from the tribe also endorsing the book. So it does a very good job. It's a history and it's a focus on identity, on, challenges of, this reservation, which is one of the poorest. At the time of this book was one of the poorest and most overcome by certain, drug abuse and, alcohol isms and everything like that. And it goes into some very fantastic thoughts on identity and historical loss and everything in that. And to me, that's kind of where this book really gets into a lot of wonderful stuff. It's a very hard read. It's an anthropological read, so it's not the easiest thing to go into, but this little picture right here, it's called The Empty Center. It's a theory that Dr. O'Neill kind of put together. Talks about how, indigeneity is perceived with, modern day Indians being on the outside, and the concept of a true Indian or someone that they perceive themselves they should be looking towards on the inside. And that is kind of an idea which I think is not greatly it is a very interesting starting concept and something that, a person who is non-indigenous can't fully conceptualize or explain, which is why there's some issues a lot with this diagram. But it's something where, we should try to indigenize ourselves and try to understand what's really going on. And some of the research I've done kind of matches that. So really good books, really happy I got them on my shelves, just because they were big for me in one of my researches. All right, that's all I got. Take care.